Welcome back to the Stormcast, everyone. This is the podcast where we talk all things TABC sports. My name is Ali Hochberg. I'm here with our co-host, Oren Gluckman, and it's been a long week of TABC sports and a lot of games. So, Oren, how you doing?
I feel clean shaven. Happy Lag BaOmer, everyone. I also feel devastated because I am the head coach of our JV soccer team, and anybody who was at the game the other night saw that we lost a heartbreaker, in overtime, no less. I believe you were in attendance at that game, correct?
You requested me to be on the bench, so I was there. I was standing right next to Levi Eliason. Shout out Levi Eliason.
Yeah.
But if you want, we may as well just start off there because that was a heartbreaker. TABC lost in the playoffs quarterfinals to Frisch. Final score 6-5 in overtime. Absolutely nuts game. This was my first game of the year. It was an absolutely. I'll just give a little summary of the game. Adi Rimberg scores like a minute in. Frisch responds with a goal. David Linder responds right back, up 2-1. Frisch responds back, 2-2. Jack Solomon outruns the entire Frisch team, putting us up 3-2. Frisch scores 3 unanswered goals, up 5-3 with like 5 minutes left. And Gabi Brodsky scores 2 straight goals in like a minute.
Nate Brodsky.
Nate Brodsky, sorry. Excuse me. I don't know why I messed that up.
Bobby graduated a couple of years ago.
I know. I don't know why I messed that up. But Nate Brodsky, I'm sorry, Nate. What an incredible game. Scored 2 goals in like a minute, tying the game up. But unfortunately, we were defeated in overtime, 6-5. So, Oren, I mean, what are your thoughts on the season, the team, the game, and the outlook? That's a loaded question, but answer what you want.
Listen, I'm proud of my guys. They could have just stopped playing at one point when it was 6-4, and to battle all the way back to force overtime. It shows the mental fortitude of this team. And I would also point out that 4 of the 5 goals that we scored were freshmen. So that should show you that the future is bright with this core. I'm not in the department of making excuses, but Tony Fleischman was battling an injury. I think if he's at 100%, we're more dangerous going forward. But I give Frisch a lot of credit. I think on paper we're the more talented team, but what Frisch lacked in talent, they made up for in physicality and discipline. And to be completely honest, I think the shoe is on the other foot in terms of varsity soccer. The TABC varsity soccer team will play Frisch next week in the semifinals, and I think it's opposite roles. I think Frisch have more of the talent on paper, but what we lack in talent, we'll have to make up for in physicality and team togetherness and just outworking them to get that win and hopefully punch our ticket into the championship.
So I guess great transition. Unless you want to talk anything else about JV soccer.
Shout out to my team. I love all 18 of them. It's unfortunate. I really thought after the SAR come from behind win in the regular season and the Frisch Mercy at Frisch that we were starting to hit our stride and we were going to eventually go all the way to the championship. It just wasn't meant to be. A lot of highs in this season, a lot of lows, and unfortunately ended on a very depressing note, but I wouldn't trade that group for anybody.
So you transitioned very well into a little bit more of a positive. The other night, last night actually, at the time we're recording this, TABC played a doubleheader, I guess. Playoff doubleheader at North Shore. We went 1-1. We lost in volleyball, but we won in soccer. So we'll just finish up soccer. They defeated North Shore. Oren, you were at that game. If you want to tell us a little bit about that game and the matchup and date. Do we have a date for the first playoff game?
Yeah, so better than anyone that scheduling games in the month of May is a nightmare. There's a lot going on between the grade trips, the AP exams, the parade, Memorial Day weekend. So this was the only date that could work for both teams. It'll be next Thursday night at 9:30 at Frisch.
Oh boy.
Listen, the varsity soccer team just played a 10:30, 11 o'clock game at North Shore last night. So if they can do that, they can go down Route 4 and play a 9:30 game at Frisch. This was the only scenario in which we can have a full squad. The only other option was playing early next week, but we were not going to do that without Sammy Levine, as Sammy Levine will be in Columbus. So this was the only time that worked. Looks like the juniors will have to leave their junior trip a little bit early to make this happen. And let's go. Semifinal action. We're ready to go.
So what happened in the game last night at North Shore? Who played well? Who whatever?
5-4. We had a good start. We set the tone early. Steve Gold finally got his first career goal. As a goalie who likes to bring the ball out of the zone a lot, he never got a goal up until last night. And with 12 seconds left in the first quarter, Daniel Sladowski, more affectionately known as Slad, put us up 2. Sammy Mole had an early goal in the second quarter. So we're up 3-0 at halftime. To begin the second half, North Shore actually scored 2 quick goals to put us on our heels, but Sammy Levine was able to immediately respond back. I think the turning point was when it was 4-2 us. North Shore thought they had a goal to cut the deficit to 4-3, but the ref did not award it because he didn't think the entire ball crossed the line. So North Shore, while they were appealing, you always got to play until the final whistle. You got to play until the whistle. North Shore did not do that, and Yoav Linder punished them on the opposite end. So instead of 4-3, it was 5-2. So that was really a critical swing, and I think that put us in cruise control and devastated North Shore, where we're able to come out on top in the end by a score 7-3. And now we move on to Frisch in the semifinals. There's no question we're going in as underdogs. We have to treat this as our championship game. Because I believe if we're to come out on top in this one, we'll win the championship after. We were over 2 against Frisch in the regular season. The first game we played the majority without Sammy Levine, as Sammy was at a baseball game instead. So we were not at full strength, and we played Frisch in our last game of the regular season when our seed was already locked. So it was kind of a meaningless game for us. So we experimented a lot. And, Noak knows that I go back to that saying, it's very hard to defeat a team 3 times in 1 year. So let's hope that talking point is to our advantage as we shift our focus towards the semifinals.
It's worked both ways for us this year. We were defeated by SAR in JV basketball. However, on the other end, we defeated MDY in the championship despite being in the Sarah Jack championship, despite playing them our 3rd time. So works both ways for us. But regardless, that was a big win. Looking forward to it, as they are our only team that we know, I guess, that really
baseball will be in the playoffs. Baseball will be in the playoffs.
Meaning it's guaranteed to make it to a certain point.
Right.
Just to talk about a little bit before I guess we'll get to baseball last, we could talk about CBI immediately after. I guess we could talk about volleyball, their unfortunate loss to North Shore last night. They defeated North Shore previously in the season, but unfortunately they lost. So I just want, before you hand it off to you, Oren, what a comeback from this volleyball team. Defeated some of the best teams in order to make the playoffs. Defeated Ramaz, defeated North Shore. They won that 4-game winning streak to even have it to lock up their spot in the playoffs. So just an incredible run from this team.
Yeah, they faced a lot of adversity. I think they were 1-3 at one point in the season, and the playoffs were very much in question. And to defeat North Shore at home in a 5-set thriller, followed by a road win against the 5-time defending champs Ramaz, I think that's very impressive. And while they defeated North Shore in the regular season, I still think everybody knew they were going in as underdogs into this playoff match in Great Neck last night. They were able to snag a set, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. And listen, this is only their 2nd year in existence as a program, and to have consecutive playoff appearances, including a impressive road win over the 5-time defending champs, I think there's a lot to be proud of, and I think there's a lot of optimism for the future. They're only losing 3 seniors, Deere, Strolley, and Sittner. And assuming everybody comes back next year, I think they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Our beloved Choco, our beloved Choco, our beloved Choco, our beloved Choco, our beloved.
Shout out to Jogo. He'll be back as a senior. I'm sure he'll be gunning for that captain position. Ben Sion Kreisman, Ori Schloss, Gabe Melnikov, who was the team's all-star this year as a junior. So assuming everybody returns, I think year 3 could show a lot of promise.
And our below Jogo.
Great server, Jogo.
We've a few more sports to cover, so we'll discuss tennis, softball, and then I think baseball. Is that correct? I think that's all. That covers all the sports.
And golf.
Golf also, yeah. First meet today. So first top tennis.
Kushner backed out, so now they're shifting their focus
to DRS.
I think they're doing a practice right now at Overpeck, and they're going to the 5 towns on Monday to play DRS in a tournament.
So is that like their only tournament this year? I thought there was going to be
Yeah, I think so. Because after this week, it becomes impossible for us to assemble a squad because of all the trips and
I heard the squad might be pretty good this year. Honestly, that's what I heard. I heard a lot of the seniors.
Yeah, I mean, 12 guys on the official roster, but you can only use 6 for an official match. So it's my assumption that it's going to be the 5 seniors because you got to give the seniors an opportunity before because there won't be a next year for them. So David Sachs, Ben Sion Kaiser, Yosef Shell, Yitz Goldstein, and Aryeh Simon. And the lucky non-senior, I think, is Josh Posner.
That's what I heard also.
Yeah, because let's be honest, there's no golf program without the generous help of the Posners.
Shout out Josh Posner. Shout out the entire Posner family. So I guess that's golf for you. Then what else do we have happening? We have tennis. Tennis won their first match. They swept Kushner.
Yeah.
Considering Kushner's record, I mean, we're not here to diss on other teams. I mean, it wasn't too shocking, but really good nights for everyone to just get a win. Ayal, Cal.
Wait, time out. Where'd you say that golf
Ayal
tournament?
wasn't in the Kushner match. He wasn't named in the match day squad. I think it was Kalb.
Oh, really? Was it?
Jack Nordlich and Levi Eliason who played.
Yeah, I know Levi went on the 4.
Wait, guys, time out. OG, where'd you say the golf tournament was gonna be?
In the 5 towns in Seawayn.
Oh, what school?
Huh?
Who's hosting it?
He wants you to say DRS in case you couldn't tell.
DRS.
You can handle the greenhouse.
Okay, but it's not relevant because the match is not at the greenhouse. Proceed, Ellie Hochberg. We're talking about tennis.
Okay, yeah. So tennis. I'm sorry to Ayal. I actually Levi won on the forfeit, but everyone else got.
Well, I don't think they finished the match. I think Levi was up 7-6.
Like I said, he won on the forfeit. I said his opponent got hurt.
His opponent pulled out, I guess. Yeah.
Levi told me his opponent got hurt. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So, but still, good for this team to get on the board. 1-4. They'll be playing their final 3 games of the year.
They're going to play Heschel this week, but it got rained out.
Heschel on Tuesday. I know that was supposed to happen.
Well, now Heschel will be next week. Heschel, they'll have Ramaz, Frisch, and Heschel to close out the season.
Yeah.
I don't think they can make the playoffs anymore. But having said that, they have a lot of potential for the future. Ayal's their only senior, so everybody should be back next year.
Exactly. So they'll be playing. Heschel on the 23rd. I don't know why I'm going out of order. They'll be playing Frisch on the 20th and Ramaz on the 18th. That's Sunday. So those are the 3 tennis games. And regarding JV softball, YDE game got rained out. We're eliminated from the playoffs. I guess non-shout out to YDE for being somehow so good this year. I mean, shout out to the Brooklyn schools for completely shout out to the Brooklyn schools for
YDE's always been good at softball. It's the Mag and David mystery that we can't figure out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's because they wear helmets. It's all the helmets.
And also, I remember how they told us at the game that it was because of the 9th graders. That the 9th graders revamped the roster because they had a program going. But,
no, it's all their whole team is all sophomores.
So you beat them last year, so it doesn't.
I know.
Yeah, but there was only one returning sophomore from last year because they're the new coach, the MDY coach. I got this from talking to him at first base. When he was coaching first base, he told me that since he's the new coach and he's actually a professional coach and they didn't have one last year, that they all wanted to play for him.
All right.
I guess
the personnel changed by Magan.
I guess, yeah.
But apparently, rumor is they're all going back to baseball next year.
Magan David's gonna have a baseball team next year.
That's what somebody told me on the team.
Yeah. So just funny thing in the softball Eastern Conference is funny thing. Besides, there's 3 teams that are really good and 2 teams that have not won a game yet this year. DRS cannot handle anything else because they're 0-6.
That's a tough division. Those 5-town schools are really good.
I
Like
know.
May and Netzach and
May, Netzach, and somehow Hafter's undefeated, which is really
yeah,
great.
Hafter's having a good year. They have a good team apparently.
May is 4-2. Netzach's 4-2.
Wait, time out. DRS is 0-6. How is that possible? I thought they were good.
Darche also yet
I don't think we always talk about us being relaxed about spring sports. I think DRS is even more relaxed when it comes to spring sports.
Handle the.
I'm gonna sign off.
So then we got our fun. Well, by the way, Oren, didn't DRS win a championship last year in tennis, and they're 6-1 this year in tennis?
You're right. I'm sorry. I forgot. They're good at tennis. Yeah,
and
they have a Sackett that's on their team.
And they're undefeated in soccer, if I'm correct.
Yeah, but you'll notice that the semifinals in varsity soccer are all teams in our division. So I think there's a talent gap between the Long Island schools and the New York City, New Jersey schools when it comes to soccer. DRS were an undefeated 8-0, and then they hosted Kushner this week in the first round, and they lost.
Isn't that how it always is? Besides for MDY and Flatbush in basketball, isn't it how it is for every other sport?
I mean, yeah, because
DRS is always good at ball. North Shore is always good at ball.
Isn't the talent gap between the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference?
I don't know. 2 years ago, I think the other conference was better.
I think what you're saying is hockey. Typically, it's just DRS in the other conference, and then everyone else.
In hockey, yes, and Hank this year, but I don't think Hank is here to stay next year.
Yeah, it just he's hockey. How are we back to?
I mean, there's an argument that there's always 4 schools at the top in every single sport, and it's always SAR, Frisch, TABC, and DRS.
I just want to note something that we're in the middle of May and we're still talking about East Hockey. So, shout out. Okay, and on to our final sport. A team that was in danger of not making the playoffs.
They almost, if they lost to Hillel on Sunday, they would not have made the playoffs. And Hillel almost won in the bottom of the last inning.
Yeah. Are you yelling at my catcher?
No.
That's what the other team's coach yelled at Coach Greenberg.
Shout out to my good family friend Adam Volk, who's the coach of the Frisch team.
So we are 4-4 in the year. We lost to Frisch in a crazy game. We beat Hillel in a crazy game. This team, I don't really understand it. There's so much talent on this team, yet they can't seem to execute a lot of the time.
Well, they can't hit.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm very interested actually to see.
Are we allowed to talk about?
They have 2 of the greatest aces in the league, in my opinion, in Levine and Bogner.
And Rimberg is a solid 3 too.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about the ending of last game on here?
There's nothing to talk about. They lost.
I mean, how crazy that ending was, though.
Yeah.
So, I just want to talk one last thing. TBC is gonna be in the wild card game, right? Like whatever it's called.
Well, the format's a little different this year. They're 20. We're talking about Columbus now.
No. We're talking about.
Yeah. I assume at 4-4 they're going to be the lowest seed, and they'll have to go to the first place team out of the other conference. So right now, I think that would be Heschel
or Flatbush.
I guess.
Yeah, Flatbush and Heschel.
Flatbush, I think they'd be favored. I'm not sure about Heschel. I think Heschel's decent. I think they give a good game.
I'm just looking at. Oh yeah, it does not look like Flatbush is that great. They played. I don't know. They're inconsistent. They lost to Kushner, yet beat Hank. I don't really know.
Hank beat us.
I know that I'm saying. I'm confused because we beat Kushner, and
they've just got to make sure the lights don't go out by the time they're losing.
So Flatbush is confusing me. Let's just ignore them. It's gonna be Heschel, but or honestly, it could be. Never mind. That's it. Those are the 2 options. Okay, but no, you'll talk about the game. Then we'll talk about CBI.
All right. So basically, the ending of that game, the Overpeck lights go out at 10 o'clock. So at the top of the last inning, they play 7 innings. It was a tied game, 2-2. And if Frisch scored 2 runs in the top of the inning, and if TBC never got a chance to bat before the lights went out, the game would have been a tie. So Frisch intentionally gave up the runner on first base, so TBC would have a chance to bat and Frisch would win the game. And the TBC bench didn't like that. Frisch didn't do anything against the rules. Well, Frisch did the right thing. I don't think anyone on TBC's bench liked it. It doesn't matter. It was the right thing to do. And they almost
strategy, in my opinion.
Yeah, they almost got into a bases clearing brawl, a dugout, benches clearing brawl. So that was crazy. And then the umpire made what I thought was the correct call. The TBC side said it was a bias, said it biasly, that the umpire in the last call of the game called it a strike, and they thought it was a ball. So they all went nuts, and the parents of TBC went nuts, and it was just one of the weirdest things I've seen on a baseball field. And not to mention, the first baseman got hurt in the bottom of that inning, and the coach yelled at the first baseman to get up that they have a game to win, and he was yelling, and I felt so bad for the first baseman on the floor because all the coach cared about was winning that game.
Yeah, I think that was Jacob Feynman, right? That's what I heard.
I don't know who the first baseman was.
Ian's brother?
What?
Might be. Jacob Feynman. I'm not sure if he's the first base. I think he's on first base, but whatever. Moving on to Columbus.
It was a meaningless game anyway. A tie wouldn't have helped us, and we were kind of locked into the last seed in the playoffs anyway.
I mean, but it's a rivalry game. You always want to beat the rival.
Okay, but a tie doesn't do that.
Talking about Columbus now, somehow TABC is the 5 seed out of 20 teams. I'm not sure if like the out of town schools are bad or like they just like are just randomly ranking us. But I mean, we do have, as I'll say again, we have a lot of talent. Like the team is theoretically very good. We'll be playing just the seeding, just so people know. You know, I'll say the top seeds. SAR is 1, Frisch is 2, Ewell is 3, Fasman, our favorite Skokie, is 4, which is the opposite of what we were in Sarachek. We're 5, and then 6 is Ida Crown, 7 DRS, 8 Chalhab at 9 Mimo. And that's what I'll leave it at for now. We'll be playing Hillel from Pittsburgh in the first round. Shout out Ezra Goldberg. I think he's their pitcher. Went to camp with him. But what can you tell us about
the fact that you know who the starting pitcher on a random yeshiva in Pittsburgh?
Listen, I don't think you can. It's a 5-12 matchup. We're probably favored, but I don't think you can take anyone lightly. You know, just because they're a small school. We played Atlanta in the first game last year, and we lost.
Tier 4 champions.
Yeah, and I think we also lost to Fuchs.
Yeah, I just want to note that we added there's a tier 5 this year. I mean, we go in tier 5 and tier 4.
Well, the field is bigger this year because of the parade issue. Teams, including us, are going late to the tournament because of the parade.
Oh, I see. So they invited more teams. I'm not
We're
sure
flying out Sunday night.
I'm not sure if it's possible for us to make the tier 5 championship. It might be literally impossible. Oh yeah, I think it is literally impossible.
So our first game is Monday morning at 9:30.
Okay, so I was gonna say maybe we could win tier 5, but I think tier 5 is only for teams that can play in the first round. If you lose the first round, I think and then you lose all the other games and then win the tier 5 championship. I think that's how you win tier 5. Because we aren't playing in the first round, I think the worst we could go is tier 4. I'm not sure about that.
I don't think we want to win back-to-back tier 4 championships.
We do not. I'm just joking.
In fact, that tier 4 trophy from last year isn't even in the school now. It's in Joel Weisberg's house.
So I think it's hard to know with baseball because there's not really especially in basketball, it's a little easier to tell because there's more tournaments, and 2, a lot of the schools that are good play against other Jewish schools that are good. So Skokie will always play against Ida Crown and Rochelle Zell. Valley, Shalhavet, Eula will always play each other. So it's much easier to tell. And plus tournaments, there's Cooper, there's Globerman. It's much easier to tell who are the good teams, who are the bad teams. Here, it's really random, meaning I'm sure they have some insight. SAR and Frisch are the best teams in the YL, and we're probably the 3rd best Yeshiva League team there.
Yeah, I would say we're right behind Frisch and SAR, and we gave Frisch and SAR tight games.
I mean, yeah.
I think we're better than DRS. I think we're better than Hafter. I think we're better than Kushner. We beat Kushner in the regular season, so
better than JEC.
They're way better than Hafter. They beat Hafter 15-2.
Yeah, so we're the 3rd best Yeshiva League team that's going out there, and I think the only strong out of town school who is definitely better than us is Eula.
Is Fasman? I don't know about Fasman. Are they good?
I don't know. But they did very high for a small school.
I know. So honestly, I think TABC can make a run to the Final Four. I think it's very realistic for us.
To get to the semifinals against SAR, that's very manageable.
Yeah, beat Hillel, then beat presumably Fasman, but could be Berman or Fuchs. But I'd like to see TABC Berman matchup, but that would just be a good game. I feel like, but yeah, whatever.
It'd be a lot of fun.
It would be a lot of fun. But the semifinals, I think, would be incredibly manageable.
I think I don't know if there's a way to fill out brackets the way they do with Memphis, but
yeah.
I would assume that most people will fill it out. TABC against SAR and Eula against Frisch.
I mean, yeah, that seems like the ideal way to go. And if you want to just tell us a little bit about Columbus, I was looking at the Columbus history. We are historically very good in Columbus. We got 2nd place 2 years ago. That was
Yeah,
competitive.
last year was just an off year, but we generally compete here.
Yeah, 2022 we got third place. 2023 we got second place. We got 2019 we won. 2018 we got second place. Somehow I don't know how we're always doing so well. I mean, we don't
I
historically.
think it's the perfect opportunity for a reset. The regular season did not go the way we planned. We barely squeaked into the playoffs as the last seed at a 4-4, 500 record. But now it's a new season, because we finished all our regular season games. So Columbus is a new chapter, and followed by that, the playoffs will be a new chapter. So
take some good momentum into the playoffs.
yeah, yeah. And
then,
even though they didn't beat Frisch, they competed with them.
Yeah. They played. It wasn't a blowout against SAR either.
No.
I mean, this team has a chance, and I have confidence. This team probably might have some of the best pitching in Columbus. I mean, they have really good pitching depth also, which is something needed in Columbus.
Pitching just has to translate to hitting.
Yeah, basically hitting's the problem. I mean, honestly, they face some poor. I mean, whatever. Elran, anything else you would like? I think you might have something to say. Is that true or false? Or
I mean, no. We have varsity soccer and baseball left to focus on in terms of playoff runs, and the TBC sports year is coming to a close. We got the sports banquet on Sunday, June 8th. And I'm looking forward to what will hopefully be another successful TBC sports season next year. Let's go Storm. I'm all in.
Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're listening to this before Shabbos, have a good Shabbos. I don't know when Noak's going to post this. And after Shabbos, a good watch the games. And everyone have a great week.
Happy Lag BaOmer.